He has over 350 wins in his collegiate coaching career. He's now in his 5th year as the women's volleyball coach at NJIT. Peter Volkert joins me. Pete, how you doing?
Good, very good.
Let's talk about your expectations for this season. Steady progress the last few years. Won 6 matches 2 years ago, then up to 11 last year. What do you think this year's group can do?
We're looking to take that next step. Try to get into the Atlantic Sun tournament now, and the first 2 years we're learning experience and kind of joining the new league and feeling it out, and hopefully we can make that next step this year into the playoffs.
That tournament is played at Lipscomb, which is in Nashville. That'll be a nice place to be in mid-November, right?
Yeah, very beautiful gym, very beautiful arena, and a nice town as well.
Speaking of the Atlantic Sun, what has it meant for recruiting and the program in general to now play in that league?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of good selling points. Traveling down to Florida in end of October, early November, especially if it snowed here in November, is a beautiful thing. But it's also nice to see other parts of the country, and so to have 4 different weekends where you can travel and go down south is kind of a nice thing. We see a lot of the teams here in the Northeast, so to get around to other parts of the country is a great thing, and to be able to do that in conference is kind of a nice thing that we're guaranteed to do every year.
Now, Adriana Nieto is one of your top returners, a junior libero for this team. What does she bring, and what are you asking of her?
Sure. I mean, she's just a fantastic player, but her passing is she's one of the best passers in the whole conference. Her defense is also right there at the top, one of the best defensive players. So it's just her ball control is the most important thing. We want her to touch as many balls as possible, keep us in system, allow us to run an offense, hopefully a faster offense based on these good passes, and nobody passes better than her.
Who's she passing to? Who are some of the big killers up front?
Sure. Well, Liz Benson is the setter right now, who will kind of run the offense. And as far as hitters, we have a kind of a mix of returners and then some new players who are all working hard right now in preseason to kind of determine who those primary hitters are going to be. So we're still working on that right now.
It looks like you have an influx of transfers from volleyball-rich areas that may help the team this year, right?
Yes, we brought in 3 transfers, all from good programs: Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and Cal State Bakersfield, and all very mature and are going to bring a lot to the team, and I think we'll make a much quicker. We'll make a really good transition from what we've seen so far in preseason. Very excited about them and how they'll fit into the team, and how they already have fit in, after a week of practice.
How do these student athletes compare to maybe some of the others that you've coached or coached against in other leagues, maybe some others in the conference? It seems like kind of a serious, studious group.
Everybody here, I never have to worry about the academics. Every single year that I've been here so far, that the girls have achieved at least a 3.3 GPA or higher. So I said they're very smart girls, and as I said, as a coach, makes your job much easier to just coach smart players, where you can just kind of mention things, and some things you only have to say like once, and they got it. They just pick up on things so quickly. So as far as teaching, it really helps, because they can learn in the classroom, and they can certainly learn on the volleyball court, and they do it at a very rapid pace.
I just had a chance to tour the Wellness and Events Center, and it's really coming along quickly now, steamrolling here as we get about 2 months out from the opening of the building for basketball and volleyball season. What are your thoughts, and what are the advantages going to be of the WEC?
Absolutely recruiting. As we bring kids to campus and take a tour, we're sitting right now in the current gym where we play, and where you can see bleachers kind of on one side, and maybe more of a high school feel, as opposed to going in this nice big arena where they'll be surrounded with not bleachers but chairs on all around the court, on all sides and all that, in a big arena that'll seat about 3,500 people. So it's just from a recruiting standpoint, like, everything is going to be brand new, state of the art. Probably will be the best facility in in the whole conference. So that kind of helps with the recruiting there. Then as far as the different amenities that it'll have, a volleyball practice court, only, which we can go to at any time, and is always available, and I mean, that's just a great feature that a lot of programs don't have. And then of course a volleyball only locker room. It's going to be brand new, and to use the word state of the art again, is going to be a fantastic thing, as well as some other things that they're putting in, a lounge for athletes and different video rooms and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you all the tools that you need to be not only successful, but then as you bring a recruit to campuses and they get to see what you have, and they're comparing our school to other schools, it now puts us at the top of a lot of lists, whereas maybe this older facility, maybe didn't put us at the top of their recruiting lists.
For those that haven't seen this team play, what are some of the characteristics maybe of their play or your style that you're trying to incorporate?
Offensively, we're trying to run a pretty fast offense, and we brought up Adriana before, but it's not just her, but it's all based on keeping our setter and system as much as possible, which means good passing there. But we like to set lower, faster sets to the pins, keep our middles very involved as well, and we have a couple experienced middles coming back. We're both going into their senior year, and so we're excited about what we can do with the girls that we have here.
Pete, it's kind of a transitional year for the program. First 12 matches on the road, and then not being able to really play in the new arenas, playing here in Fleischer still. It's kind of an odd year. What are you telling the girls about mentality around the schedule this year?
I think unless you host a tournament, and most teams don't, or the majority of teams do not, you always start your volleyball season off on the road. And we go 4 straight weekends, with tournaments at other facilities. So it's kind of I think volleyball-wise, they're kind of used to it. That first month, you're not home much at all. You may have 1, maybe 2 midweek games that kind of fit in there. But without hosting a tournament, you do spend it on the road. Hopefully, one of the now advantages of this new arena, when it's ready to go, is we can host a tournament. And by hosting a tournament, now you've just set yourself up for 3 or 4 home games in that first month, where traditionally NJIT has always been on the road. But by, hosting a tournament and getting teams to come to our new arena, we should have some earlier home games on the schedule in the future.
Oh, good stuff. I wish you luck this year.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Peter Volkert, women's volleyball, NJIT.